Girl, you won't believe what I found out recently. You know that little branch we gently take from the neighbor's plant, a friend's garden, or even from that forgotten corner of the yard? Well, turns out there's a way to make it grow roots without spending a single penny. And the best part? It actually works. I tried each of these techniques with my own hands, rough from working so much with soil, and I was so amazed by the results that I just had to share this with you. My dear green-thumbed friends, sometimes we think we need to buy rooting hormones, special soil mix, or those things that already scare us just by looking at the price tag. But the truth is, with what we already have at home, and a little patience, we can turn any branch into a brand new little plant full of life. And there's no big mystery, okay? All it takes is love, care, and a few golden tips that I'll share in this video. So if you're like me, someone who loves to multiply your plants and takes great pride in saying, "This one, I made it grow myself," go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because today we're learning some good stuff. And hey, if this video truly helps you, if it touches your heart like it touched mine, click that little thanks button on YouTube and make a donation. Any amount helps us keep sharing these precious tips around here. Technique. The first technique I want to show you is one I lovingly call the power of the little bag. Oh, honey, this one has saved me so many times I lost count. You'll just need a healthy branch. Could be from a rose, hibiscus, lavender, whatever you have. A piece of paper towel, a clear plastic bag, you know, the kind we stash in the kitchen drawer, and a little water. That's it. Just that. Now pay close attention because it seems simple, but it works like magic. First, moisten the paper towel. No need to soak it, just make it damp. Then, wrap the bottom of the branch with it, right where you want the roots to grow. Wrap it snugly so it holds firm, but be gentle not to hurt the little guy. Now the trick? Place this wrapped branch inside the plastic bag and tie the top with a string, or even an old hair tie. The secret is in the humidity trapped inside, creating a mini greenhouse. And the most amazing part? You don't need to touch it anymore. Just leave the bag in a bright spot without direct sunlight, and that's it. After about 10 to 15 days, open it up carefully, and you might get emotional, really. Roots start to show up like tiny white hairs on a newborn. It's a beautiful thing to see. What's even better is that this technique is gentle on the branch and has a super high success rate, especially with more delicate plants. I've used it with jasmine, basil, rosemary. They all thrived. It's like they love that cozy hug the bag gives. It's as if we're nurturing a secret until it's strong enough to face the world. And the best part? It literally costs nothing. Just some love, a desire to see life bloom, and a pinch of patience. And let me tell you, when you take the branch out and see those roots, your heart fills with joy. It feels like the plant knows it was made with love. Take a deep breath and save this technique in your memory, because the next one I'm about to show you is even more surprising. Technique. Now let's move on to technique number 2, which I call rooting in old newspaper. Oh, girl. This one's for those who love the old-fashioned stuff we always have lying around the house and don't realize how useful it can be. You know that stack of newspaper in your drawer? Well, today it's going to be reborn, helping us grow strong, healthy roots. And let me tell you, this technique is so simple and effective, it feels like a grandma trick. And maybe it actually is. First, pick a nice branch, no signs of disease, with some healthy leaves. Cut it at a diagonal. This increases the water absorption area. Then dampen a piece of newspaper slightly, just enough to make it moist, not soggy. Gently wrap the branch with the newspaper, like you're wrapping a delicate gift. The goal is to have the branch hugged by the paper, nice and protected. Then place the little bundle inside a plastic bag. Even a grocery bag works. And seal it tight to keep the humidity in. Now place the bundle somewhere bright, away from wind and direct sun, and just wait. I know. Waiting is tough, especially when curiosity kicks in. But trust me, girl. Trust and resist the urge to peek. In 2 to 3 weeks, when you open the paper, you'll see a little miracle. White, fine, firm roots, happily sprouting. From your branch, it might bring tears to your eyes. And the beauty of it is realizing how the plant, even without soil, understands the love we're giving it. What's great about this method is that the newspaper keeps moisture in gently, without suffocating the branch or holding too much water. It's a simple, cheap, and super effective way to multiply our beloved plants. I've even managed to root tricky ones like bougainvillea and lavender, using nothing but newspaper and love. And let me tell you, when you see that branch start a new life, it feels like your soul gets renewed right along with it. Hold that joy in your heart, because the next technique is even more charming. Technique 3. Now we've arrived at technique number 3, which I fondly call Grandma's soil. My dear, this one has been passed down from generation to generation, almost like a family secret, you know? And look, you won't need anything more than a handful of good soil and a small pot. When I say it costs nothing, I mean it. Start by choosing a healthy branch, ideally with 2 or 3 leaves at the top. The trick here is to clean the base well, removing all leaves and little shoots near the part that'll go underground. Then, gently scrape a bit of the bark at the base using a sharp knife. Just a light touch, enough to expose a thin living layer to encourage root growth. Then stick the branch into soft, moist soil, that good-smelling earth that feels like it pulses with life. Here comes the special touch. To create a natural greenhouse, you can cover the pot with a clear glass or a cut plastic bottle. This will keep in the humidity without needing to water every day. The branch will feel like it's wrapped in a warm hug from Mother Nature. Place it somewhere bright, without harsh sun, and just let it be. From time to time, check if the soil is too dry. If so, just moisten it a bit. And girl, when the roots start growing, it's pure joy. It's like the branch is thanking you for the chance to start over. The beautiful thing about this method is that it's so natural. The plant barely feels the transplant later. I've rooted so many succulents, rosemary, lavender, and even guava branches this way. It's the kind of care that soothes the soul and makes us feel part of something much bigger. Hold on tight, because the next technique is even more surprising and practical for those with limited space at home. Technique. Now let's talk about technique number 4, which I call blessed water. Oh honey, this one is perfect for those of us with that eager excitement to see roots growing day by day without having to mess with much. And there's no mystery at all. It's so simple and powerful. It feels like a blessing from Our Lady of the Plants. If there were such a saint, of course. You just need a glass jar or container and, of course, clean water, filtered or rainwater if you can get it. Start by picking a firm, healthy, vibrant branch. Remove the lower leaves, keeping just a few at the top so it doesn't waste energy. Then just place the branch in the water, making sure only the base is submerged. No leaves in the water, or they'll rot and mess everything up. The golden tip here, my friend, is to change the water every 2 or 3 days. That keeps it clear and free of bacteria that could harm root development. Now just set the container somewhere with plenty of indirect sunlight, like near a window, and let time do its thing. And girl, it's a beautiful thing to watch. First you'll see little bubbles in the water, then tiny white dots on the branch, and before you know it, white, delicate roots start to appear, growing like little hair strands. It's emotional. I've rooted all sorts of plants this way. Pothos, maidenhair ferns, coleus, even mint. The sweetest part of this method is that it's practically an invitation to hope. Every morning when you check on that little glass and see the tiniest changes happening, you feel like everything is okay, flowing at nature's pace. And once the roots are 2 or 3 inches long, you can plant it in soft soil and watch your new plant bloom. There's no better feeling than knowing that, with so little, life can renew itself with such strength and beauty. Now brace yourself, because the final technique I'll share is practically magical. A true hidden trick from the backyard. Technique 5, and now we've reached technique number 5, which is my absolute favorite, rooting straight in sand. Oh, my friends, this one is a real treasure. Write it down in your plant recipe notebook, because it's simple, powerful, and works with so many different kinds of cuttings. And let me tell you, this technique is one of those that, when you see the results, it's downright emotional. It's like nature putting on a show of resilience and tenderness all at once. You don't need fertilizer, fancy pots, or anything complicated. Just clean sand and love. First thing, grab a bucket or deep basin and fill it with washed sand, the kind you find at hardware stores or use in construction. Before using, rinse it well to remove excess salt and dirt. Then let it drain so it stays moist, not soaked. Now comes the fun part. Take your chosen cuttings, remove the bottom leaves, give that gentle scrape at the base, just like we did in the soil method. And stick them into the sand, carefully, without forcing. The sand helps keep the perfect level of moisture without smothering the cutting. It's airy, doesn't let water pool around the roots, and prevents rotting. That's why it's so effective. You'll only need to moisten the sand lightly once or twice a week, depending on how hot it is where you live. Keep the bucket in a spot protected from direct sun, but with plenty of light. And soon enough, girl, you'll see thick, white roots growing strong and full of life. It's such a beautiful thing to witness. I've rooted all sorts of amazing plants this way. Hibiscus, Suriname cherry, rosemary, even some hardy succulents. And the best part? Once the roots are formed, the transition to soil is super smooth. The plant barely feels it and just keeps growing happily. It's almost like rooting in sand gives them extra strength to face life. It's an old technique, used a lot in professional nurseries, but we can totally adapt it at home without any mystery or cost. Now that I've shared these 5 heart-held techniques, I can honestly say that if you use any of them, you'll be able to turn a forgotten little branch into a whole garden. Technique. Let's move on to technique number 6, a true little secret for anyone who loves making miracles with what they already have at home. I call this one coffee that makes it sprout. Yes, you heard right. The leftover coffee grounds from your delicious afternoon brew might be just the boost a branch needs to grow strong and beautiful roots. It's super easy to do. You'll need a healthy branch, as always, and that used coffee ground that would usually go in the trash. First, let the coffee dry in open air to keep it from molding. Then mix it with a bit of regular fluffy soil. The perfect mix is 3 parts soil to 1 part coffee grounds. This creates a light soil full of nutrients with amazing moisture retention. But without getting soggy, then all you have to do is stick your cutting into this magic mix, covering it up to about 2 fingers above the base. Water it gently and place it in a sheltered spot with plenty of indirect light. And the most beautiful part, my dear, is that coffee doesn't just stimulate rooting, it also strengthens the plant for a more vigorous growth later. I've done this with lemongrass, basil, carnations, and they all took root with such energy, it felt like they were saying, "Thank you," and all without spending a single extra cent. Technique. 7 now we get to technique number 7, which I affectionately call in the cotton cup. Oh girl, this one is so delicate and heartwarming to watch that it feels like a childhood science project. Like those bean sprouting experiments we used to do at school. Remember? But don't be fooled. It works wonderfully for many kinds of cuttings and is perfect for folks living in apartments, tight spaces, or anyone who wants to see the roots growing up close, day by day. You'll only need a clear cup, either plastic or glass, some cotton, and of course that lovely little cutting you want to bring to life. First, line the bottom of the cup with fluffy cotton, then moisten it slightly with water. Just enough to keep it damp, not soaked. Here's the little trick. Poke a small hole in the center of the cotton and nest the base of your cutting right in there, making sure it's in full contact with the moisture. If needed, add a bit more cotton around the stem to hold it upright. Now just place that cup in a well-lit spot, away from direct sunlight, and keep the cotton always damp but never soggy. In just a few days, you'll start to see the magic. Tiny, white dots appearing at the base of the cutting, like little seeds of hope. With time, those dots turn into firm roots, ready to explore the world. And the most beautiful part is being able to watch every step, every tiny victory of nature right in front of you. This technique is perfect for more sensitive cuttings like violets, mint, basil, and even some succulent varieties that like a more humid environment at the beginning of life. And you know what's even better? When it's time to transplant, the cotton protects those delicate roots, preventing them from breaking. It's pure tenderness in the form of a technique, my flower, and all of it using things we already have at home, almost no cost at all. My dear ones, what an immense joy it's been to spend this beautiful time with you. I even get emotional, you know? Because sharing these little life secrets is like planting seeds of love in each other's hearts. Each of the 7 techniques I shared today is more than just a method for rooting cuttings. It's a way to spread life, hope, and that warm feeling only plant lovers understand. And the best part is, we don't need material wealth to do this. Just a sincere desire to see nature blooming around us. How many times in life have we looked at a dry branch and thought, that's it, no more hope? But then, with a bit of patience, love, and faith, we see that life is stubbornly strong. It rises again in the most unexpected ways. Just like us, right? How many times did it feel like the end and suddenly, there we were, growing new roots, sprouting new leaves. So when you're there, tending to that humble little branch, remember, you're also taking care of yourself, your time, your soul, your hope. I truly hope from the bottom of my gardener's heart that these techniques bring you as much happiness, as many new little plants, and as much pride as they've brought me. May every rooted branch in your home be a small victory, a reason to smile, and a reminder of the magic of life. And I want to ask, from the very bottom of my heart, that if this video helped you, brought you joy, hope, or even just that cozy feeling in your chest, please consider clicking the thanks button here on YouTube and making a small donation. You know, friend, every little bit of support, every act of kindness helps keep this green corner of ours full of life, tips, and love. And with that, I say goodbye. But just for now, okay? Because our love for plants never ends. It just keeps growing, branching out, and blooming. Big hug to your heart. Take care of your cuttings. And take care of yourself, too. See you in the next video, my flower.